Initiating HYPERGATE. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. HYPERGATE activated. The portal to illuminating the collective consciousness has finally opened. Please enter the HYPERGATE now.
Welcome to Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Monday, September 6, 2021. I'm Astrologer Dave Power, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, thanks so much for being a part of HighVibe.tv. If you're not on HighVibe.tv yet, because I am going to put this video out on YouTube for this new moon, make sure that you check out HighVibe.tv. Be a member now. We have a 7-day free trial, of course, on all of our apps and our website. Also, if you're not part of HYPERGATE yet, I have 3 more of my live classes left, but you can get the last 5 that have done over 20 hours of content. Go to highvibe.tv, click on schools, and then click on HYPERGATE. Well, happy new moon to everybody. This new moon in Virgo going down today. Now, I like this new moon in Virgo. It's trine Uranus. I mean, if you think about the last new moon that was in Leo, it was square Uranus. Well, this is definitely a freeing time in our lives, even though it feels like, well, is life really that free? It kind of feels like it's been really restrictive, of course. But if that's the whole point of Uranus is, you know, it's kind of one of those last minute pivots in life, those last minute radical changes that come into our life. And with Uranus and Taurus retrograde at 14 degrees of Taurus, and we got this new moon at 14 degrees of Virgo, definitely a big time for us to see that this lunation cycle, this next month, is all about the freedom element of our life. But more importantly, looking at how do we ascend higher into our physical reality. We've got this Virgo mutable earth sign that is all about making changes into our life. And Uranus wants change as well. And if you really think, look at Aquarius right now. We got Jupiter retrograde here, we got Saturn retrograde, and we've got a lot about just Uranian energy. I mean, if you just look at the world, it feels different and weird. Well, this is definitely a little bit weird as things are coming into our lives that are at a place where it's very Uranian, especially Virgo, the changes in our physical reality that we have to make about, especially if we look at Mercury, which goes shadow today in Libra. We got Venus in Libra, trining Jupiter. It is finished its square to Pluto. And then we have Mars in Virgo, which is trining Pluto. So there's a lot of change here and a lot of open doors for us. But that Mercury in shadow now in Libra, I mean, it's one of those things where we're entering into a really karmic period here. We already have 5 planets retrograde. Now I'm adding Mercury to the shadow period. It definitely is bringing so much of like what's left in our life, these radical changes into our physical reality and things that are going to bring us more quality and happiness in our life. Taurus is all about the good life, what feels good, the foundation, the stability, but it's more importantly about us and our self-worth and how we can have great things in our life and create great things. And Virgo is about making change, and it can be stressful, of course, because change comes fast and we don't like, especially in the world, to have to change things. We like things to be more solid like Taurus is. But this is a time where Uranus is already in Taurus. It's unstable. And then you get Virgo, which is like, hey, you know, things need to be adjusted. Things need to be edited. Things need to be changed. And so this is a major new moon about change. And yes, relationships are a huge part of this. We got the 2 benefics in Trine. We got Jupiter in Aquarius and Venus in Libra. Both deal with relationships. Both deal with people. And then you can add that Venus that's been in square to Pluto, and Pluto is getting ready to come online here on October 6th. So there's a deep look exactly from this whole lunation cycle. The next one's going to be in Libra with Sun and Mars conjunct, with a Mercury retrograde in Libra, with Pluto coming direct. So this is, if you look just outside of this new moon for the next new moon for what this month's all about, it's about relationships and our physical reality changes. And it's also about whether or not we're really ready to do very Uranus Taurus stuff and very Virgo stuff, which it's hard, Uranus and Taurus, because we have our set values that are set in a way. And here we are having to make pivots, make adjustments in order to rise higher. We could either climb the ladder to a better place in our life, or we can continue to do the same thing over and over again, and Uranus will kick us in the ass, you know what I mean? So I'm liking this new moon, especially to see the two benefics, the best that we're going to see throughout the rest of this year into next year. Because remember that Venus is already starting to slow down, not by a lot, but Venus will come retrograde in Capricorn at the end of this year. And we haven't seen that Venus retrograde since 2014, and that was at the beginning of 2014. So that's also going to be with Pluto, that of course will be direct and will be going into new territory. So we're definitely at the best point that we could have for Venus right now. Even with the square to Pluto, it's where are you afraid when it comes to feeling better in your life? What is it you're afraid about with creation, relationships, all the things that deal with Venus. And because we're in a Uranus and Taurus that's trining this new moon, that's in Virgo, Mercury is going shadow. So it's one of those things that's happening in Libra with the Mercury shadow. And so this new moon is really about relationships. And it's really about so much about the things we all are having to adjust in our life. It's not like anybody's perfect. It's not like if you actually look at anybody in their lives right now, everybody's like, what the fuck's going on? I don't know what's going on. There's all these crazy, worlds that we're all having to adjust to, which means we're all having to learn to adjust in ourselves and adjust with people and adjust, especially with that Venus trine Jupiter. There's so many opportunities if we're willing to go into new territory, try new things in our life. That's what Aquarius is all about. And that's what Uranus is all about. And this new moon is exactly in trine to that Uranus. But don't be afraid with Venus, Jupiter. It's the two benefics coming together. You're not going to see it with Venus in its home sign and with this Jupiter in Aquarius. We're not going to see Venus come into anything that's where it loves to be all the way until Pisces. That's a long ways away. That's coming into the end of winter of 2022, the beginnings of 2022, like almost into the spring. So this is one of those things where it's like, how do you really want to ride out your life by making the changes now in our lives, right? Like, and that's the stressful part of Virgo, is it's so now, it's the moment. That's what Virgo rules. It's the moment. And that's all we really have. And it's about looking into our futures, and that the moments that we change determine our futures now. And that's really what this new moon trine Uranus is all about, and so much more, especially with that Mercury that's happening in shadow in Libra. And of course, at the same token, got Jupiter, Venus in sextile, or in trines. All right, this is the two benefics. This is a great thing. Let's see what's going on with the card for this new moon. Crazy times out there. But you know what? One thing I've learned in life, and especially if you just study Uranus and Taurus and the transit of last time we had Uranus and Taurus in the 1930s, I mean, we have to make adjustments and pivots in a weird world that's unstable and weird things. If you're just going to try and sit in the same place in life and think that happiness will be there by sitting in the same place and not making changes and not, adjusting and not, trying to have to find new ways and new places to go and understanding what people are around you, just look at history and look what happened. Even though there's some really dark sides to Uranus and Taurus, of course, in history, I think it's important for us to look at there was positives, that you have a choice to go through the darkness or not. And I think especially with this new moon trine Uranus and Venus and Jupiter and both signs that deal with people in trine, it's really about people. It's really about people right now and how we get through this world together. So quite a new moon, and especially coming off the back of that 8-8, right? Lionsgate new moon in Leo, all about really setting a new intention and realizing that we all are stubborn in our own ways about how we want love to be, and learning the differences that we all have to find common ground. The card for this new moon is, well, we have the Seven of Swords reversed. So, maybe there's stuff that is coming up, especially for us, that we feel like, oh man, you're reviewing things and where maybe you screwed up. Maybe you feel like you're misunderstood, or maybe you're misunderstanding situations. Maybe you have fears that you can't trust things in life. This card is always it's mischief. It's mysterious. It's also misunderstandings. It can also be liars and stuff, but it's reversed. So it's telling me there's a lot of us clearing the past of things that just didn't go the way that maybe we wanted to, or maybe we felt betrayed. Sometimes you can even just feel betrayed by the universe, and I think we have to get over that. I'm going to pull a couple more. Oh, we got the Queen of Swords upright. Yeah, I think that we need to start looking in a new direction. And we have to be very clear. So this is a time for us to actually like be very clear, communicate, especially now that Mercury's coming shadow, you know, communication about very Libra issues is going to come up, you know, about finding equality, figuring out how to bring more harmony and peace in our life. And more importantly, also that relationship element too. But that Queen of Swords is definitely telling us, hey, what direction are we going? Where's our future going? And she's a little cold bitch, right? She likes to know exactly where things are going. But it's like, it's not cold. It's more like, hey, let's get to where it's actually the facts are at and where things are at right now. And I'll pull one more card just to see what's going on. We met that with the Knight of Cups in reversed. I feel like, you know what? Yeah, we might feel stuck emotionally. Well, guess what? This is a new moon trine Uranus trying to free everything and move things along. And I think that if you're just going to stay in the same place emotionally in the mud, then you don't go anywhere. And one of the things that all knights do in tarot is show us that we're on a quest. And when it's for the emotional realm cups and it's reversed, it's like, get that horse back going in your emotional life. Don't stay in the same place because nothing will happen. And we don't want to stay in the same place and keep especially saturating in emotions that are Seven of Swords about the past betrayals and whether it's stealing or whether it was people lying or all that. We got to let go of all that stuff and we just got to be clear on the future and where it's going right now. I appreciate you all so much. Make sure that you join HYPERGATE and wishing you the best new moon.
Initiating HYPERGATE. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. HYPERGATE activated. The portal to illuminating the collective consciousness has finally opened. Please enter the HYPERGATE now.